What's going on, guys? It is Madman Plant. We are back here in the podcast studio for Madman's Hang and Game Night. So we're gonna have some games tonight, and then we're gonna pick some winners. So we're gonna give couple of prizes away. So it's gonna be pretty much fun. Welcome for joining. If you want to join the game, it's this really awesome game called Madman's Wheel of Fun, and we get to spin this wheel, and it's a game, and I'll read the instructions when we get into it. But before we do, wanted to give everybody an update about what's going on with the Grow Studio, the podcast, travel that's coming up, and everything like that. So first of all, we're doing the Deepwater Culture Grow series here at Madman Plant, and I will be the first person to admit that I didn't know what I was doing, and I messed up my environment, and I made some mistakes. But the good thing is I've corrected all those mistakes, and now I'm seeing the benefits from the correction, and we're moving forward. One thing that I've already learned off the bat from DWC versus cocoa or soil is that it's very much more temperamental, and the numbers that you can get away with and not get away with as a grower when you're in soil or cocoa, especially living soil is very, very forgiveful. But when it comes to DWC, it is ruthless. And we're talking, 12 hours, you see a huge difference versus days, like cocoa or living soil. And one of the things is, the things that we take for granted are the things that are most important. And it's always the small things like the temperature. I didn't realize going into it how much, 68, 2 degrees, when you hit the 70, you can get pathogens in your water that start bacteria and a whole bunch of other stuff. What's going on, people? Let's see here. We got some people here in the chat. How's it going, everybody? What's going on, Jalen? FC, FUCF. We got JP Blaze. What's going on? Master Yoda in the house. So one of those things is, really learning that and being okay with being vulnerable and not knowing everything that you can about something when you get into it. And when you're learning in real time with people watching and engaging, you hear a lot of bro science, you hear a lot of good advice, but the biggest thing is the fundamentals. And one thing that I really appreciate about current culture is, them helping me diagnose what's going on and how to fix it. And now that we have fixed it and we're seeing the results, we should be getting back out there. But I did want to make a public announcement that I did kind of screw up in the beginning with this project. And it's just because you don't know what you don't know. And when you're getting into something new, you come in with, bad habits of other ways of doing things. And you realize certain applications, they just don't work like that. Let's see here. That's why I had to stop DWC, because temperatures need a chiller. Yeah, so luckily I've been able to successfully get my water down to 68 by controlling the room environment. And the biggest thing for me was my environment and not really paying attention to that. And with that, I love DWC already. One thing about DWC is it's instantaneously when you get it right. And one thing that I've liked about it so far is, one, there's no mess. It's just water. And two, as long as you're on top of the numbers, everything seems to go very well. And like I said, this is me being ignorant to not knowing DWC, not the company, but it's also something that I've been learning from. So I definitely think that, if you were doing it, JP Blaze, maybe get back into it and give yourself a second chance. One of my biggest things is, it's like you see your plants not doing that well, and then you freak out and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm fucking everything up, blah, 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 blah. But what I realize is that's the learning process, and it's okay to reach out to people. I've had a bunch of great people in this chat and other places reach out, give me their advice, tell me what they're thinking is going on, and really help me diagnose it. Some things you're like, yeah, that's definitely not going to work. And then other things you're like, wow, I didn't think about that. Let's see here. What's up, GI Genetics? What's up, Vito? I'm in Cali, so it's hot as fuck all the time. DWC was my best grow so far in 3.5 years. Yeah, no, it's going to be. And that's because your plants are literally sitting in a nutrient rich environment where they are getting what they want. For a lot of us out there who are growers, we already know this information. But when it comes to soy or cocoa with regulars, there's a breakdown process. You're feeding the soil and living soil versus the root zone. And in cocoa, you're going directly to the root zone, but there's still a tiny bit of buffer. DWC, you are soaked right in that solution, and it makes for wonderful growth. The system that I'm working on and that I'm using, if I were to do it correctly, which I'm going to be doing, is cloned out 7 to 10 days, flip to flower. That's how fast these things can happen. So I really do like the challenge. It's just one thing that, you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing well, Madman Plant. I am. Thank you for stopping by. What's up, GI Genetics? What's up, Master Yoda? What's up, everyone? What's good, Madman Plant? How's it going, guys? If you have a concentrate slab or a basement that you can use as a grow area, keeping your DWC buckets directly on the floor will keep the water temperature down. Yeah, especially if you have hardwood or concrete and it's chilly as fuck. That contact can definitely chill that down. And that's what I did is I took the AC unit and I got a portable one from Lowe's and I put it towards the tank. So it's blowing on the tank. So essentially it's cooling the tank at all times while it's cooling the room. And I was able to get the room during the day with lights on. And these are 1500 watts. So power 3 is pretty heavy. It's already brought the temperature up a little bit to about 75, which is perfect for the temperature during the day. And then the water is still 69, which is just 1 degree over 68, but also 1 degree under the danger zone of going into 70 and up. And so far, I have seen a bounce back. I've been seeing the little root-like shoots popping out again and everything. Let's see here. So another thing, too, is American Autoflower Cup. Next week, I will be in California at LA for the second time, which is really awesome. I'm a judge. I'm the host of the mental health podcast. Which is Smokebusters or Vindic EU, which is that way behind me. I'm reversed here. We got the mental health panel, which is really cool because I have people that are judges. I have one of the comedians. I have some of the spectators that are going to be a part of this, talking all about mental health. And what's cool is I have curated my total panel around the individual stories. So each time I do this panel, it's not going to be the same generic conversation as, oh, so tell me about this. It's all based on the panelists. So when the panelists sign up, that's how I make the panel. So it's really in depth and catered to just them so I can get more out of it. And what's really cool about the American Autoflower Cup is I'm the official podcast for the show. We'll be live streaming and I'll be in the same side room as I was last year. So if you are attending the cup, make sure to come down to my room and check us out. We're going to be doing a lot of great stuff at the cup. And we're doing some giveaways. We're actually giving away very similar to the systems that we're giving away tonight. Current Culture is giving away an item, and then Dry Flower is also giving away an item. California is an awesome place. However, when I was in California last time, you definitely get to see a different side of the city going through the city. LA is like this glamorous side, but the homeless population and the drug epidemic is very high there, and it's very surprising. In DC and in Virginia, we have our share of homelessness, but nothing like LA or like a major city like that. When it's just way different. When I was in Boston, that was also different too. And I was at NECAN. I turned the corner from my hotel and I hit a methadone lab, and I didn't even know it. And I was walking, and this dude was in a wheelchair, tying off his arm with an elastic little band, holding the needle in his mouth, about to inject himself. And I took a couple more steps, and there's these people dealing pills. I look up the staircase, and there's 2 police officers just standing there. And it says methadone clinic. And I'm like, well, why do they need the clinic if they're doing all their drugs out here? You know what I mean? And then right next to the hospital, they had people literally leaned up against the hospital, and it's just, I guess it's just so normalized that people, nobody seems to care. The cops don't care unless it gets out of hand, and it just shows you, the downhill spiral of mental health, drug use, and all these things. And that's why, in my opinion, I'm so glad that I chose cannabis, over anything that I could be putting into my body. And that's one thing about these plants, is the fact that you have the healing properties, you have like the spiritual properties of, like, it's sacrament and everything like that. And then you have the stories of victory, leaving meth addiction, beating cancer, sleeping better, being able to be more interactive as a person. And I just love the application that weed provides to us and what we get out of that. Let's see here. Yeah, it's crazy in Sacramento. It's getting bad. Well, I think also, I'm definitely not getting into the politics, but with the economy and the possible recession and people losing their jobs, I mean, what do you expect people to do? Not everybody is mentally sound where they can handle those type of situations. And unfortunately, when you're in isolation or things are going wrong in your life, it's really, easy sometimes to get off course. Let's see here. Streets is wild these days, my guy. 100%. Let's see. Exactly. It's normalized. Yeah. Well, the place I was talking about in Boston is called Meth Row. And I found this out through the local. I got a hotel, which was extremely cheap. It was a Hilton, actually. And I was like, man, why is this so cheap? Now I understand why the hotel was so cheap. To get on the elevator of the hotel, you had to get one of the people that worked there. They would walk you over to the elevator. They would push the button for you. They would watch you get on the elevator, and then they would go back to their desk because of the homeless population and, addicts trying to run in the hotels and get up on floors to, use amenities or other things. And I've never been to a place like that. And this is like, quote unquote, an upscale hotel. It was called the Tommy, which is no longer there. I actually wanted to stay. No, that's California. That's where I stayed last year. I'm getting my places mixed up. It was the Hilton. It was in Boston. And it was actually a really nice hotel. Other than that, when you got into the hotel, you didn't know any of this. So, like, when you first arrived, unless you went around that corner, you didn't see any of this. Man, I need to get up with you about getting the genetic entries for the Battle of the Breeders. You get a chance. All right, sounds good. We can do that. Let's see here. That's like 50 miles from me too. Crazy. Dude, I dig those reviews sometimes when you travel. My dude, be safe. Well, that's why, also it's important to kind of get a layout of where you are, and my thing too is, just like in Vegas, they tell you never leave the strip because you don't know what's going to happen or who's going to be there or whatever. So one of those things too is like just natural preservation, knowing kind of what's up, where you might be. The craziest thing though, I will tell you, is we were on the way to the American Autoflower Cup in the taxi, and this lady, and I felt so bad for her, she was laying like butt naked on the ground with and she had like her dress up like around her waist, obviously not mentally there, rocking back and forth on the sidewalk, and had cuts and just all infections up her arms, and you could just tell it. And it just really opened my eyes. I'd never seen, I've seen a lot of people mess up, I've seen people OD, I've seen a lot of things, but for some reason I don't know why that lady just rocking back and forth by herself. Lacey saw it too. Just really stuck with me when I was there. And I was just like, damn, out of all the things I remember in LA, I remember the homeless people and the addicts more than the city itself, But we did go to this really good sub place, which is right next to one of the studios where they do the live shows, which was really good. And I'm not really a big submarine person or a sub person, but it was pretty good. Got it. Let's see here. So further on that, fast forward to June, I'll be in New York. So if you are on the East Coast and you want to come see me, we're going to be at the Home Growers Championship, and I'll be there for Education Day. And what's cool about Education Day is, one, I'll be there for the mental health panel. So if you're in that area and want to attend and be a panelist, let me know. Number 2 is I'm doing an intro to deep water culture. And what's cool is Current Culture is going to be coming down with me to support me and be there when I do my presentation. So if you have ever, like me, ever been interested in DWC, I got a great outline that's for free on the website that I'm about to upload that you can download. And it'll give you a great guide of DWC. And like I said, I'm the blind leading the blind, but I put the time and effort putting together the presentation. And, I've gotten this, checked with them and they like my information. And it's one of those things where as you learn, you should teach because the basics and the learning start in the earlier stages. Getting it right and having it go back to back and cycle to cycle is one thing, but really understanding the who, what, where, when, and why is what really makes the difference. And I'm really glad in a way that I did kind of like fuck up in the beginning, and it is my fault. I'm the grower, so I'm supposed to know these things, but at the same time, if I got it right, maybe I wouldn't appreciate it. Maybe I wouldn't have cared so much about the setup like I do now and really trying to be dialed in. I think sometimes you get a little bit nonchalant or complacent with your style of growing, and that's one thing I love about new things. And as growers, we're always growing and trying new things, is the fact that what worked yesterday, maybe there's a better method today. And I've been really kind of, swallowing my humble pill, trying to reach out to others and say, hey, I'm a newbie. I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to do the best I can for those that are watching. So let's see here. Being a peer advocate, meeting them where they are. That's one of the hardest parts for me. You want them to see the light. That is so true. And I think the real reality and the problem is no matter how much or how good you want for somebody, unless that is their God-given mission to heal themselves and to put themselves first, that is an uphill battle that's unfortunately lost. And as a person, I've never been an addict. I've never been an alcoholic. My biggest bout with, drinking when I was like, in high school, because I was depressed because I got picked on all the time, was, drinking at night, sneaking it, and then passing out. Other than that, I've never experienced true addiction like some people have. And that's why I honestly feel like it's an honor to get to talk to these individuals, because they know a fight and a struggle that most people never will. And that's one thing, like Russell Brand says. He says, unless you're in the mind of the addict, he said, they're beyond helpless unless they have a true support system, because the mind of the addict is irrational. And it's one of those things. My best friend, who I grew up with, who I talk a lot, his name is John Spargo. He's the kind of, when I was younger, I got picked on a lot, very heavily. And with that being said, I didn't always have the best chance of standing up for myself. And my friend John was a dude that was dedicated to working out. Like, that's all he fucking did. Like, I don't know if it was like a psychological thing or, that's just what made him feel better. But he died of a heroin overdose behind a dumpster. And, that was my best friend. Now, when he died as a heroin addict, I didn't know the John that died because of that. You know what I mean? I knew the John when we were friends. There are some fucked up shit that he did that I'm aware of, that I was told by his cousin. You know what I mean? So I don't condone that. But before there was an addict and before there was a person creating chaos in himself and in the world, there was a decent person. And that's why being a peer advocate is so important to me, because we can't always just judge people. People make mistakes. I make lots of mistakes. I almost fucked up my entire Grow series. You know what I mean? So we got to understand where they're at and really trying to push them forward. Let's see here. Failure creates the opportunity to grow 100 fucking percent. Let's see. Facts. It's hard to watch or accept. It is hard to watch or accept, but I think the biggest thing is we need to accept that it's kind of like the serenity prayer, change the things we can and accept the things that we can't change. And I think that's even with people. whether it's love, relationships, addiction, you wanting your kid to do the right thing or make the right choices. At the end of the day, we don't get to decide that. They do. And I think that's also one of the freedoms of being a human and being free is the fact, and not to gonna go on a dark side, but when we talk about like suicide, especially since I have a lot of suicide, victims on the show, that I know it's gonna sound kind of fucked up, but in a way, that is a freedom. You know what I mean? If somebody is suffering, just like terminally ill, right? What's the first thing we say? Is, oh, I'm glad that they're not suffering anymore. That's the best way we can look at, death sometimes, is at least they're not suffering, and the disease of the mind is very much like the disease of the body. Let's see here. It's best let you remember him in the good times and not how he was in the end. Maybe it was a blessing that I didn't get to know him as he was in the end, because he did rob people, he did hurt people. I've heard that he once held a knife to somebody. Um, and that's the thing is, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, that's why, sometimes people are like seasons. They need to come and go out of your life to either serve a purpose or to be part of your life and then go. But, maybe I wouldn't have liked the person he was. Obviously, I'm not a person for hurting people. But, I think that maybe you are right. The last time I didn't see him, he kind of screwed me over in a way. And I was always a better friend to him. Let's just say that. And I was talking to this girl, and he literally stole the girl from me. Which, in my aspect, if you're going to get easily stolen and we're just talking, then I'm glad that worked out, because I don't want to be with somebody like that. Plus, I have a beautiful, happy wife named Lacey. But the last time we talked, I was like, you know what? Don't call me anymore. We're done. You know what I mean? Because he'd done stuff like this in the past, but that really just irked me. And it was probably like maybe 7, 8 years later that he actually died. So it was one of those things too, where you get to a point too with people that are making bad decisions and stuff like that, where you just don't want them around anyways. Let's see here. Yes, they are people. I love how you tie mental health into the equation. Well, I think the biggest thing is mental health, because when you're mentally healthy, you make good decisions. You see your life and body as like a temple where you're constantly building and adding value, whether you're taking something on, you're learning a new language, you're going back to school, you're trying harder at your job, you are, you're cleaning your house more so you can live in a better environment. These are all fundamental steps that equal to smarter, clearer thinking and direction. And when you get clouded and you see the demise, you see the destruction, you see the addiction and the disease that comes along with that, and you're subjected to that. Like, I used to go to the rave scene all the time. And for me, doing psychedelics, LSD, DMT, all those things, for me, it was like watching a football game. I go to the football game, I have a great time, and then after the game, I go back to real life. And one of the things through being in the rave scene and like kind of the drug culture, if you will, is a lot of those people, they don't leave that scene or that party. That party carries on to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's not a party, it's a goddamn nightmare for them. Them battling being sick all the time, them battling their own addiction and their own demons, And when you're able to kind of like go, like, I remember the first time I went to the rave, I was looking at everybody, and everybody just looked so magical and peaceful, like just so young and youthful, and everything was colorful. And I remember one of the last times I was ever at the rave before my son was born, and I really got into my business. Started looking around, and everybody looked like they were decaying, like rotting out. And I was tripping really hard one day, and I was just looking at everybody, and everybody was just like their teeth were messed up, and like they had a lot of things going on. And I started to realize that a lot of these people were my friends. And I started to realize all of a sudden that, listen, while you're hanging out with them, being recreational, these people are trapped in a cycle. You know, they don't leave this lifestyle like they do. They don't go somewhere else, you know? And it's very eye-opening when you experience that, to realize that not everybody is going to make it, you know, whether in life or in happiness or in pursuit or in relationships or whatever. And I think one of the biggest things is just being grateful for what you do have, and trying to inspire those around you to live their best, you know, life. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. Is being a Mason, it's all about light, you know, as somebody said, you know, and you got to put that forward. All right, so enough of the mental health stuff for right now. I'll switch topics real quick, but you know me, with Vindic EU, I heal, which is, that's in Romanian because I'm from Romania. It's also tattooed right here. And then I have the Smoke Busters logo, which you can't see, but it's above the cross on there. So I love mental health. So anybody that has a mental health story or just wants to be on my podcast, I am always open ears. We actually have a guy named Henry about to come on. Now, if you guys remember Tristan, who shot himself in the face with a 12 gauge shotgun, well, Henry did the exact same thing, but Henry was conscious after he shot himself and begging 911 not to come, while his brother was actually begging 911 to come. And the 911 operator got so confused at one point, was like, listen, did your brother shoot himself in the face or not? And his brother was like, yes, he's bleeding everywhere, please come. And Henry was like, no, I did not shoot myself in the face, don't come, I'm trying to die. This guy is a 11-time suicide survivor, and after shooting himself in the face, he slit his own throat in a hospital. So it is a wild story, but he's on a much better path now, and he is happy to be alive. And that's somebody that's going to be on the show pretty soon. I actually have 5 victims other than Tristan who've all shot themselves in the face who actually want to be on the show. So it's actually really cool. So to dive into that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So the main giveaway I'm going to do, the 2 main giveaways I'm going to do coming up, but I have a couple fun games real quick. So is there anybody, because you're going to have to play the game to win here, who would like to possibly play a game with me real quick here? So I'm going to show you what the game is here. Actually, no, I'm going to read it on here because I have my notes. So this is called Madman's Wheel of Fun, and it is a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, he's definitely meant to be here. All these people are. And in fact, you know what I want to do here before we start this game? I need at least 3 people to play. I'm going to send a link real quick. I need 3 people to start. So give me 3 people. And we're going to go ahead and start this. And the second time, I made some dabs. Oh, yeah. That's 1 press. It's probably did maybe like 20 grams. I don't know. Oh, my goodness. All right. And so here's what you're going to win. You're going to win one of these legendary leafy trays and a couple other little prizes with it. And this is a fun trivia game. And it's designed to be easy peasy. So click the link if you would like to play. And now I'm going to go ahead and do a dab real quick because I have not smoked at all. And I think we should all do a dab real quick. Also, dive in the comments real quick. Tell me what you guys are doing this week. Anything special? Any announcements that we should make here? While I go ahead and do this fat dab. Love to get the comments going here. Here we go. I need to get one of those PV cameras where you can go ahead and control it with the remote. So I was like, oh, look here, look at me doing a dab, and then I can just aim it down and then aim it right back. I can zoom in if I want to get dramatic, like, oh yes. Just ripped some Black Mamba. 710 Labs. I've had them before, and that is very good. I do like 710 Labs. This right here is my very own. Oh, Yoda, what's going on, dude?
Not much, not much. How are you?
Oh, doing good actually here. Enjoying, about to do a nice dab. I know you are a dab guy. I would like to everybody in the comments and everybody on chat to know that Yoda is one of the best hash makers. His shit that he brought over was almost pure white, and not that color always makes a difference, but it was so fucking clean. Tell him a little bit about what you brought over last time. And Yoda is actually driving from Connecticut down to Virginia this week to spend some time with me.
Yes, sir. I am. I'm super stoked about that. So it was. So the strain that I pressed was the Gorilla Cookies, and the Gorilla Cookies. The seeds were gifted to me by by Fast Buds themselves, and as a sample. And um I'm drawing a blank of Kevin. Kevin was his name. Kevin from Fast Buds was very generous to give me those seeds, and I grew it out, and it turned into a beast, and uh, I ended up uh, I ended up harvesting. I think it was about 2.5 or 3 pounds wet, and then I put it right in the freezer, and then washed it, 3 days later, and then straight into the freeze dryer, and it just came out as this, beautiful, white, um, just material. And then after that, I pressed it. I might have pressed it a little bit on the longer side because it was a little bit more on the waxy side, but you live and learn, and I will do better next time, or the same, or we'll see. I actually
Yeah,
don't mind that consistency, because it's actually not hard to work with, and it's kind of clean to work with.
it is clean.
But it wasn't that gooey, material.
All right. Who else is going to join us? You ready to do a dab real quick?
Um, I
You don't have
can
your
in
dab.
one
Oh, you don't
sec.
even. You're not even ready. Oh man, you're
I'm not
always
even ready.
ready.
No, I just cleaned. Well, cleaning is relative, but I just did a quick clean. I swabbed her out real good.
All right.
There we go.
All right. We need 2 more people. The link is in chat. All you gotta do is click that, and it'll bring you right in. You don't have to show your face. So if you're worried about your face, you can hide it.
Yeah, you can actually go in and say you can stop your camera.
Yeah, you could be like, I don't want to see myself.
Yeah.
Oops. There we go. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, we're 3, 2, 1ers. Also, make sure in the meantime you go to the post right here, and you can enter as many times as you want. Still, it's going to be the top ones on my profile. So if you go to my profile, it's going to be these 2. Make sure you have commented at least once to be picked. If you are not here when you are picked, you will not win, and I will go to somebody else.
You okay there, champ?
Oh, dude, it sounds worse than it is. I just love dabs. Like, to me, it's like smoke one joint or do 2 dabs, and beaches is nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when I used to ride motorcycles. The biggest thing we would do, especially when we rode from Virginia to California, is we would get so fucking stoned and then go out and then ride our bikes and talk about feeling like you were flying, dude. We'd be going like 80, because I had a Heritage Softail, so it's a bigger Harley. We'd be going like 80 miles an hour down an exit ramp. Like, you just, oh man, I need to get another bike. I already told Lacey I'm going to get another bike. Like, I just got to.
Well, you know.
Oh, look at this shit.
Is that? Wow, look at that.
So this was one of my plants. It was a mother plant of the tropical trooper, but it got too big, so I had to cut it down, but it stayed just like this. So this is when I teach my classes, I'll be bringing this, and this is my new pointer stick. Bam, bam, bam. But yep, turning plants and just remember, into trees.
Speak out of line.
Whoosh. Whoop your ass.
Yeah.
But yes, it can also be used to.
Wow.
Spin the wheel. All right. Well, I guess if nobody else joins to play the game, you automatically win.
Wow. Wow.
Jeez. See what happens when you show up in life? Minimum effort, maximum results. Come on, people. Let's go. I need 2 people. Who wants to win? These are actually pretty cool gifts. All right. How's it going?
What's up?
What's going on?
Not much, not much.
All right. Let's see here. We got JP Blaze. All right. One more person. This is a trivia game, and it's pretty cool. I'll go ahead and start explaining it as we keep talking, and hopefully one more person will join, or it'll be you and Yoda battling it off, duo by duo. Okay. So here we go. First game of the night. Let's see here. Welcome to the Madman Plants Wheel of Cannabis. Today, we're going to test your cannabis knowledge with some trivia. We'll play a couple rounds of trivia, and the first person to pick up their bong or puffco. So you'll, let's see here. Well, he don't have a camera on, so the first person to say the word bong, we'll do it that way.
Okay.
If they answer correctly, they get to spin this wheel. So on this wheel, the goal is to spell out a specific cannabis related word. So I'll choose a word like pot. So that has 3 letters. So if we go to my board right here, you'll see that we'll have 1, 2, or 3. And then I would just let us know the points needed. So needed points for this round is 3. The first person to 3 points wins. However, there are a couple catches that make this challenging and competitive. With that being said, I'm going to read the directions off of here. Let's see here. The goal is to spell out the specific related word. Each time you spin, you'll either add or lose a letter, get a free spin, steal a point from another contestant, or get the audience to help you out in the next round. There will be no more than 5 participants, which shouldn't be a problem, not including me. So Madman Plant will ask trivia questions. Participants will say the word bong. The first person to get say the word bong, it gets to go ahead and spin. Once you spin, you'll learn what you have, and then you have to answer the question first correctly. Let's see here. The rules. Audience members must be respectful and only play if a contestant lands on Ask a Grow Me or specifically ask them for help. So in the chat, you can't blurt out the answer in text. Let's see here. So how this works is on the board, we have add. So first what we'll do is I'll say, give me blah, blah, blah. You guys say the word bong. Whoever says it first, you answer the question. If you answer the question correctly, you spin. So when you spin, you'll either have lose a number, which could give you a negative point, or a negative point. So if you had 3 and you lose a number, now you have 2. You have ask a grow me, which is where you can ask the audience. You have add a number, which will add. You have a free spin, and then you have a steal a number from a person. So if JP were to get steal a number and Yoda has 2, now Yoda has 1 and JP has an extra number.
All right.
Does that pretty much make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's get going here. So who wants to go first?
You came on first. You can go first.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
All right, let's get that scoreboard.
First word that we're going to spell has 4 letters, and that's going to be the word weed. So, okay, so 0, 0, perfect. So you need 4 points on this round. And let me get the trivia up, and here we go. I really need to get an assistant. If anybody knows any assistants, let me know. All right, here we go. What is the main psychoactive chemical compound in cannabis?
Bong,
Yoda.
THC,
Okay, but you have to give me the full word. Like, what does THC stand for?
tetrahydrocannabinol.
All right, very nice. All right, so here we go.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You get to ask a grow me. So your next round, you have ask a grow me.
All right.
If you need one.
All right.
All right. Next question here. Which state was the first state to legalize recreational cannabis?
Bong.
All right, JP.
It was Oregon.
So on the answer that I have, it says Washington was the first state legalizing on December 6, 2012. Colorado joined 4 days later.
I thought it was Oregon.
Nope. All right, next question here. In what country is hashish thought to have originated?
Bong.
JP.
Afghanistan.
Nope. India. All right. Which U.S. state is the largest producer of legal cannabis?
Bong.
All right.
California.
All right. Good job. All right. Oh, nice. All right. Boom, boom. So Yo's got 2 and JP's got 0. JP, let's see if you can get this one. What ancient civilization used cannabis for medicinal purposes as far back as 2900 BC?
Ooh. Oh man, I'm gonna say bong, and I will say China.
You are correct. Very nice. All right. Here we go.
Confucius says I was right.
All right. Here we go. Oh, you get to add one. So you were both at 2. Very nice. All right. Next question here. Who is the largest producer of cannabis in the world?
Oh shit.
I wouldn't have thought about this one. This one surprised me.
All right. You want to try?
Well, I'm just curious as to what is who. Is that like what who is like the biggest producer, or like what country?
I'm assuming
Well-
he means country.
Well, yeah, I believe it. I believe this would be a country, and it says who is the largest producer of cannabis in the world?
All right, bong.
Go.
Denmark.
No, Morocco.
Yeah, they got that Moroccan hash.
Oh shit.
All right. Let's see who can get this one the fastest. Does a cannabis seed contain THC? True or false?
False. It does not
False
contain-
is correct. All right. Point and spin. Oh, you get a free spin.
Oh, excellent.
And you get an Ask a Gromy. So next round, if you need help, you can ask a Gromy.
All
All right. Okay. Smoke on the Water is a fictional medical cannabis shop that can be purchased by Franklin with money gained from completing missions in what video game?
Bong.
Okay.
Schedule 1.
No, we got that from Trip.
Oh.
Nope. That's Cranky Frank. This is Franklin.
Oh.
JP?
Franklin is bong would be GTA.
That is correct. All right. Good job. All right. We got you a point right there. And we're going to spin. And you get Ask a Gromy on your next spin. Very nice. All right. All right. So this one will be answered to how accurate is this question. This question is the answer in this question is what's the original or what's the origin of the term stoner? When was it created, and why did people start using it? Answer those two questions.
Oh shit.
What?
Bong.
Okay, JP.
It was referring to the stoning of people back in the day during the biblical times.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, okay.
Yoda.
I'm gonna say it took off in the 70s. With stoned hippies kicking stones. I don't know.
All right. Stoner actually goes back to the 1920s and the 30s when people began using stoned or drunk as slang for being heavily intoxicated by alcohol, looking battered, and worn as if they had been stoned. Over time, the term evolved specifically to refer to people who were high on marijuana, and it became popularized in the 60s and 70s by the hippie culture.
Wow.
I mean, he
Wow.
half got it right.
So you were stone drunk or stoned in the 20s would be you are severely intoxicated, not high.
Right. Who
That's
knew?
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. What does CBD stand for, and how is it different than THC?
Roast bung.
Go.
Cannabidiol. And I forgot the second half of the question.
What does CBD stand for, and how is it different than THC?
It's non-psychoactive.
Very true. All right. So, considering that you're successful on the spin, you don't lose a number.
Wow.
You may be our winner for this round.
Wow.
All right. Ask a grow me. All right. So, Yoda has won one round. We're going to do one more round.
That was a nail biter, though. That was close.
All right. So there's going to be 3 rounds. The second round, we'll start. Who started first on this time?
Yoda went first last
Yeah,
time.
I went first. Yeah. So
we'll make this a fire round. So we only need 3 letters, and the word's going to be dab.
All right.
Let me bring up my. Speaking of dab, I'm about to take another one here in a second. They're just so good.
They are.
That they are.
They're just so good. I just want all of them.
My stupid rinse station got stuck in New Mexico yesterday, so I'm waiting for it to show up.
Oh no.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. Damn FedEx.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered the Aether Green rinse station and
You're
then
gonna love
the little spacers.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. It's a total time saver, total game changer. I have that whole setup.
The only thing I'm missing is the freeze dryer, so we'll see how it comes by air drying it.
Right.
But the pizza box tech and all that, so
yeah, I mean,
research. We'll see. It'll still come out decent.
Yeah, no, you can you don't have to have a
We're going for a dab real quick.
A freeze dryer just kind of speeds the process up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it saves you a little bit of something, but the biggest thing is just the time of the saving in the time of production.
Yeah, well, it's all going to be small batch. It's I only have a 4x4 and a 3x3, so
yeah. And once you've washed it, you want it. You don't want to wait a week.
Yeah, that's
I mean that's what it comes down to. You don't want to wait a week. You want it. You want it now. You've already waited for the time to
grow it.
2, 1.
Oh, come on! I've been having the worst.
Wow! Your battery's dead.
No, I don't want it. I didn't want it red, but we're gonna go a little bit hotter, I guess.
Wow! All right, did you hit your button? I aborted. Oh, I will hit it now. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I cut you off.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, but with a 3x3 and a 4x4, you can still do a lot of damage.
Yeah, you can do a lot of damage in there.
Like real nice.
I just popped some of Symbiotic's new genetics, their Amarello line. the Yellow Burst, which is the Starburst 36, to the Amarillo 9, and then I popped the Burnt Sugar, which is the Grease Fire, Gassy Taffy times Grease Monkey times the Amarillo.
Wow.
Popped a couple of their Champayas.
Sounds amazing. Now, do you have a cold room?
No, I don't have a cold room either. So I got a portable AC. I'm gonna throw it in the closet and seal up the closet. And I have goals. The freeze dryer's next. Once the car is paid off next year, I got like 10 more payments on it, and freeze dryer. Then I'm gonna turn the closet into a cold room.
Right. Every once in a while on Reddit, I'll see someone post a picture of like a Harvest Right at like Costco floor bottle for like $1,500 or something like that. So
I think half of those are scams. People are just posting for views, because I've seen them as low as $900.
Really?
Yeah, Costco ads for
Okay.
the small one.
Okay. I have a small one and I love it.
Yeah,
I love the small one. For me, I mean, for like a home grower, I don't need anything bigger than that.
yeah, exactly.
And a medium you can still use in a house. A large, you need a dedicated, it says you need a dedicated 20 amp circuit. So that would be something that most that you don't, that's not your common outlet in your house.
Yeah,
Maybe in your kitchen you might have that, which is probably not where you want a very large appliance sitting on your countertop.
I'm thinking,
especially with the pumps running. I don't know how loud
Yeah,
the pumps
yeah.
are.
Oh, go ahead.
How
Sorry, I
loud
didn't
is the
interrupt.
vacuum pump?
It's not that bad. I mean, I have it in the basement, and we have like a man cave next to it. And when it's running, I mean, it's you can hear it a little bit, but it's not, it's not that bad.
I'm sure it's similar to an aquarium pump, a little bit louder.
Yeah, kind of like
I'm
that.
sure your
Yeah,
deep water culture or the current
exactly.
culture pump is
It's
probably
not
just as loud.
it's not any louder than that. It's not any louder than that. So,
all right, so let's get back into it. But before we do, let's do a giveaway real quick here of this system, which if you don't know, deep water culture is becoming my new best friend. And like I said in the beginning, it's my fault that I didn't know the environment, but the ease of use, the versatility, and what you can do with these systems is phenomenal. And as a learner and a beginner, I'm fully comprehending the greatness in this. But what this is right here is a 8-gallon self-contained system. This is a ready to go out of the box system. All you do is fill it up with the water and the cultured solution nutrients, and you are growing. And this would be perfect for a 4x4 or 3x3 if you're looking to do it. And what's even better, you can build these out. So eventually, if you wanted to build a bigger system, you could add other cubes and change out the parts, and it can grow with you. But it's an awesome system. They're about $124 online. They come with the liquid fertilizers, the planting supplies, the low power consumption, perfect for small tents, and then it's easy setup and operation. And these are fantastic. So, like I said earlier, the person who wins has to be in the comments or in the chat right now. If they were to give them 2 minutes from when I pick the name, if they don't, I'm going to pick another name, because it's important to me that the people that show up get top priority for winning, because that's just how I think it should be. So let's go 2 minutes here. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
yes.
All right. One winner. Boom. All right. What? I have to pay to see the goddamn winner? That's
what?
Yeah, certain generators you have to pay to use them.
Oh my god.
But
That
it
is
says it's
hilarious.
free.
It does say it's free. All right, well here I'm gonna.
Well, yeah, it picked one. It didn't say it would tell you who the winner was. It just said it picked the winner.
That is too funny. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know if you can notice my icon. That was the root ball from the first run of DWC I did in a 5-gallon Lowe's bucket.
Yeah. Is that outside? Is that are those tomatoes or is that
No, that was a weed plant. I grew it in my 4x4. I did 4 5-gallon Lowe's buckets in my 4x4.
okay?
Like I when I first started growing when COVID first hit, everyone got the check, so I was like, fuck it, I'm buying a bunch of equipment. So I bought the equipment, and then I started with Fox Farm soil and General Hydroponics, and then I went to deep water culture because I was just searching different routes, and I was like, I want to try this. This looks fucking neat.
What? I have to pay for this shit?
What?
$144?
They are just bullying you. Why don't you just go? Doesn't Google have like a free generator or something?
There are other free generators. You just got to search for them, and then it'll pull you basically go to the post. I know there's multiple people that use the free ones.
Yeah,
but there are a lot that charge.
$144?
Oh, that was 44. I think Matitude Mats, I think, pays like 3 or 4 for his.
Okay, let's see here. An idea.
Gonna copy and paste it all.
Okay, this is frustrating. This is I didn't think that Instagram. I didn't think that I would be given this opportunity here. Let's see here. Start. Does anybody in chat know where I should go? Damn. See, I thought I was being sly. That's right. Everything is behind paywalls nowadays. It's like, come on. I'm only going to use this one time. Yeah, I swear, I'll never be back on this site again. I just need it for this one giveaway.
Don't bully me because I'm in a live right now and I'm kind of.
I'm about to go incognito and just see if it'll catch me.
I mean, technically, isn't there only like 10 people in the live right now? Couldn't you see who's live and then just...
Actually, you know what? I can do it from SteamYard. Perfect. You know what?
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah,
great job.
SteamYard. Why? And you pay them a lot of money. Why?
I always think StreamYard, and that has its own perfect. All right. Yes. Giveaway page there. Perfect. And shit.
Hey, it's Autumn.
Which one is it? All right. We're to see if this one works. Type in DWC.
Showing this all this stuff on the live. Do you want to give yourself privacy?
No, I'm good. It's there's nothing here. Look, don't copy that. I'm just kidding. All right, type. I'm just gonna do this real quick before anybody else does. I just want to see if this is the right chat. I believe it is. I gotta figure out, damn, which one we're on. Hanging game night. Okay, type in DWC in the comments if you want to be entered to win.
With the hashtag?
Hashtag DWC, just like you see. Like just like how I wrote. Yeah, great job, JP. You know, I would have been sitting here like looking like a fool for a couple minutes, and you're like, hey, you know what we should do? Just do it to the people that are motherfucking here. And it's like, yes, I know. There's only 14 people here. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad that there was only 14 people here. 14 real motherfuckers that deserve the win. I'm just kidding. All right, we got 9 entries so far. There's 14 people, so we got all right. Now we need 4 more entries. We'll leave that up for a second. All right, let's do one question real quick while we let everybody sign up. If you guys are just watching now, type DWC in to enter to win the Current Culture 8-gallon pot system, which is the UC Solo system. Oh,
I'm back.
sounds great. All right.
Perfect.
Okay, here's a great one. What is the definition of a land race strain?
Bong.
JP.
JP.
A landrace strain is a strain that hasn't been transferred across. It's like the genetics have been just inbred itself. I don't know if I'm explaining it correct. A landrace strain stayed in the region and hasn't bred with other strains. It basically inbred itself and stayed in that area.
Okay. Well, you said most of the words. The definition that it says, which you're pretty much on, is a pure original cannabis strain native to a specific region.
Exactly.
So very nice job here. So we get you a point and a spin. You know, oh great! You get to add one. Wow, look at that.
Let's go.
Already 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Might be over before it began.
Wow.
Coming in hot. All right. So, what is terpenes in cannabis?
Bong.
You got before me.
Yoda.
Terpenes are the other chemicals in the cannabinoids, which are in the little ball, which is on top of the stem of the cannabinoid, and they dictate the flavors and aromas and the effects of the cannabinoids. So things like pinene. Okay, am I good?
The compounds that give cannabis its smell and flavor. Yep. Very nice there. We'll give you a point real quick. Bam. And spin. Oh, you got a free spin. Nice.
Oh, great.
All right. Here we go. Honey, come here.
I got another free spin.
Oh, you got an ad.
Oh, good. Oh, boy. Now it's a nail biter.
Oh, man. That's teeth and teeth now. All right. You guys shouldn't be so friendly, you know? I'm just kidding. I'm going to come up with a good one. Something here. What is the main law that classified cannabis as a Schedule 1 drug in the United States? What was the main law that classified cannabis as a Schedule 1 drug?
The main law.
The main law?
I don't know the law. I know Reagan enacted it.
No, it was Nixon that enacted
Oh, Nixon?
it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he's the one that said,
bong
let's
the
be
war
a
on
nation
drugs?
that doesn't need a crutch.
Yeah. And I know the reason why, but I don't know the name of the law.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know the name of the law.
Okay,
either.
well, I'll have to ask a new question. Autumn, I appreciate you chiming in, but when I'm doing the questions with the panelists, I can't have guests put in the answer, but you would be 100% right. It would be the Controlled Substance Act of 1970. But thank you, Autumn, for doing that. But on the next question, if you know the answer, I would love for you to either play or say it in the end. Oh, no problem at all. It happens all the time. No sweat. All right, gentlemen, one more question. All right. But great answer, by the way. You did great. All right, let's see here. This would be like a fire question, so you guys would like jump to it. So get ready. All right.
All right.
What strain is famous for its fuel and gasoline smell?
Wrong. Sour diesel?
Yes, nice. All right. So you got that, but you got to spin. So
okay.
Good luck. All right.
Did I get an extra bonus point?
You got
winner chicken dinner.
All right, winner chicken dinner for sure.
Bam. All right. So who won the last round?
Heat it.
Oh, Yoda won?
Yep.
All right. So that's 2-1. All right. You have one more round. All right. So now we're going to the DWC. Is everybody entered? If not, go ahead and push hashtag DWC.
Also, while you're putting in hashtag DWC, perhaps you might also want to hit the like button as well if you haven't already.
Oh, yes.
And of course, subscribing is always fun too.
And in the meantime, this is what we're looking at here. So this is the system. And this is you're getting the 8-gallon system. This is the 13. They have 2 different sizes, but it's literally the pump for the air, the system itself, the nutrients, and you set up and go.
Hell yeah.
And what?
That's a great setup.
Oh, it 100% is.
Yeah.
The thing with a DWC too is less is more. The ratios are way different with DWC than when you're using soil, hydro, or cocoa.
Yes.
You can't be running no 1.5 EC, 2.0 EC. You will fry the crap out of the plants.
Yeah, no, 100%. When I was reading the backing, literally until you get into flower, it's still under 1.2 EC. Like they don't want you
that's
going
pretty
over.
High too. I was running is under 1. I was running 1 or under. During veg, I was running 500 to 600.
Wow.
I was using general hydroponics, the Lucas method.
All right. Well, while we wait on the final method, I just want to take one quick second to shout out my sponsors and the main people of this show. So first up, we have Dry Flour, the original hang harvest system. If you've ever ruined your flour post chop or lost terps to bad dries, it's time to upgrade. Dry Flours makes the full plant hang drying effortless with tools like the drying arm, the rack system, and the cannabis guardian nets, giving you consistent airflow, zero flat spots, and maximum preservation of your strain's full aroma and structure. Built by growers for growers, Dry Flour helps you cure like a king. Next, we have our silver sponsor, which is the giveaway we're doing right now, which is Current Culture, the gold standard in deep water culture. These systems are designed to deliver explosive root growth and nutrient uptake through consistent water circulation and oxidization. Whether you're in a 4-site home setup or a 100 commercial light facility, the undercurrent system and the plug and play designs make a grower faster, cleaner, and more productive. Precision growing starts at the roots, and that's where Current Culture shines. Followed by that, we have our bronze sponsor, Legendary Leafies. Legendary Leafies is on a mission to support veterans and break the stigma around cannabis. They artistically designed cannabis-themed trading cards and crafted to catch the eye, using bold visuals to spark curiosity that leads to education and awareness. Each card highlights the plant's therapeutic potential, especially for those battling PTSD, anxiety. Legendary Leafies blends art, education, and empowerment to help veterans and others feel proud and not ashamed of their healing journey. And last but not least, we have our smoke sponsors, which is Canna Scoops, this wonderful device designed to scoop up your bud and get you nicely. And this is a simple but genius tool every grower needs on the tray. No more sticky fingers, no more smash nugs, cross contamination. Just scoop, weigh, pack, and you are good to go. It's one of those tools you don't realize you need it until you have it. Then you'll never go back. All right. Bam, bam. All right, so let's pick a winner real quick here. Huh?
Oh, nothing.
All right. Here we go. I don't know why it has me entered. Oh, I guess because I tested it out. John Brinkworth, are you in the chat here? I hope you are. Let's make sure that he's here watching.
Wow, this John, he better speak up now.
Oh, we're about to spin again if he doesn't speak up. So yeah, no, it's important that you're here because I want the reaction. I want everybody to say that they, congratulations. So where are you, Mr. Brinkworth?
Yeah, them's the rules and
Hey, I put it in my newsletter that I sent out. I put it in all the descriptions that you must be present when your name is called. Somebody better call John. Be like, yo, John, you need to get back on.
Well, I think this was an awfully unfortunate time for John to go out for a smoke break, but I think there's a bunch of people in this contest that would like to see us move on.
All right.
Mostly me included. Not that I'm biased or anything.
All right. All right. This one is going to be hashtag RDWC. Does anybody, why doesn't JP or Yoda explain the difference of DWC versus RDWC? Type that in the chat, RDWC. Make it rain, let's go.
I'm happy to tackle that if where's BJ?
Yeah, BJ's not gonna win either. I mean, PJ's not gonna win either. I'm just kidding.
Did you explain the difference?
Tackle that question, or do you want me to tackle it?
I can. The difference between DWC, deep water culture, is a single source reservoir. Our DWC is a recirculating deep water culture, so it's multiple sites connected to one main reservoir, and it pumps the water through each site and circulates it and keeps all the nutrients mixed in so it doesn't become stagnant. It helps with the oxygen exchange because that's one of the reasons why you want surface tension. The bubbles create that surface tension and allow the oxygen exchange in the water.
Yoda, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me. I mean, yeah, basically DWC is just kind of one bucket system. And it's standalone, and the RDWC system is, everything kind of in a single system, everything getting mixed around, same nutrients. So it's kind of like, even if you've got 5 buckets, they're still kind of all equal in their content.
Also good benefit about RDWC when you're running with the multiple sites is you can have that external reservoir outside of your grow area. So that way you don't have to sit there and lift each plant to be able to change out the nutrients. Because with DWC, you don't want the water just sitting. You don't just keep running it until it runs out. You need to change out that water because it'll basically deplete certain nutrients and you run out. And then you can go into deficiencies. And like you said at the beginning of the live, you can notice the deficiencies a lot quicker in a DWC system than you can with soil or cocoa or hydro. You can literally notice a CalMag deficiency in like 2 days versus it's probably going to take you a week or two to show up in a soil-based system.
Absolutely. Now, on the plus side, though, if you can identify what the issue is and make the correction, you can also see the plants back up.
Yes.
Or bounce back.
And then we'll rebound with it in a second.
All right, here we go.
The growth is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Somebody's gonna win. All right.
All right.
Autumn.
And we know.
Wait. We need to make sure she's in the chat. Maybe she went for a piss break too, and then it's like, why is everyone going to the bathroom right now?
Oh, there she is. Congrats, Autumn.
No way. That's awesome. Congratulations. Reach out to me on Instagram, and then I'll just need your name and your information to send to Current Culture, and they're going to ship it out from their warehouse. So congratulations again. And just so you know, you have won this beautiful 8-gallon. It's called the UC Solo, and it's undercurrent And this thing is awesome. So it'll be perfect for a 3x3 or 4x4. And with this one plant, you could easily veg out the entire 4x4 and do some really nice work off this. And because it's, DWC, you're not going to have to wait nearly as long.
Well, the other nice thing about that is with it being 8 gallons, a lot of people will use like 5-gallon buckets from like Home Depot or whatnot. And those are great, but you're not filling it with 5 gallons of water. Once you put your net pot in there, that's taking up space. You need to have that room so you have the headspace for air. You're talking about maybe 3.5 gallons of solution.
Less
so with
than
an
that,
8-gallon
like
reservoir,
2.5,
you're probably
3.
So you're probably legit getting 5 or 6 gallons, or, maybe 6.5 gallons of solution in there.
And the thing with
That'll-
DWC, the more volume, the easier it is to control the temperatures of the water. You're not going to have those fluctuation swings. When you have those fluctuation swings, you also get pH swings.
Yes.
It's crucial to keep the pH within that 5.8 to 6.0. I believe it's 5.8 to 6 on DWC, I think. Otherwise, you'll get that nutrient lockout.
Yeah.
All right. This is a 2-letter word. It's pi, P-I, like the name of my snake. Doesn't always have to be weed related.
Are we doing it? Wait.
Yeah, there's 3 rounds. Unless you guys don't want to do the round.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. So wait, we're only doing 2 letters. P-I.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you only need 2 points to win.
Okay, 2 points. All right.
Yeah, so it can be like fast and to the point, kind of like a flash round where it's designed to be like.
All right.
All right. 2 barrel. Okay. See, this would be a good one. So, all right, here we go. Mary Jane is a 1978 song from the duet album Come Get It by what funk singer who is also known for Super Freak?
James Brown?
No, but close, like so close, but not James Brown.
No. Not Barry White.
No, not Barry White. It was Rick James. Come on, Dave Chappelle. I'm Rick James, bitch.
Yeah.
All right. Played. Oh, and on. What Canadian cannabis? Oh, we probably wouldn't know that. We're from America. Okay.
Mr. Grow It?
What?
I said Mr. Grow It. That's the only Canadian I know.
The answer was Tweed, and I've never heard of Tweed before.
Never heard of, no.
Okay. Okay. Danny Danko is the senior cultivation editor of what monthly cannabis issue magazine that got its seed funding from the 1970s cannabis sales?
Bong.
Go.
High Times.
That's right. Bam. All right.
Oh,
you lost the point.
Son of a bum. Wow. Keeping the game real, keeping the game alive.
See, ladies and gentlemen, it is not staged. Okay, here's another fire one. Ready? The fruity title of what 2008 comedy starring James Franco and Seth Rogen refers to a rare strain of cannabis?
Pineapple Express.
You got to say bong first, but I'll give it to you. Yep, Pineapple Express.
You said it was a fast one.
But you still got to say bong. All All right. Here we go. You got to ask and grow me. All right. Here's another fast one. Ready? I just got promoted.
Wait.
And it's
are we saying bong or are we answering the question?
No,
Facts matter. Rules matter.
Should we do it again? Should we just qualify him? Should we kick him out, Yoda?
No. Moving forward, are we saying bong or are we answering the question?
We're saying bong.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I just gave it to him because you already got 2 points. So
yeah.
All right. I just got promoted, and it's all thanks to Yes, I Cannabis. Is an iconic quote from Weekend at Bernie's, a season 13 episode from what long-running animated sitcom?
Bong Family Guy?
Nope. Come on, this is a classic.
The Simpsons?
You are right. Very nice.
It was one or the other. It's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
You get to steal a number. Oh,
well,
man.
if I steal a number, that would be a really douchey thing to do since it's best of 2. But
a winning point, but hey, fair is fair.
But fair is fair, so
yes, so you win.
All right.
So I apologize.
I got the whammy. Bam.
Wow.
There you go.
Well,
guess what? Well, guess what? Since you guys both played the game, and I have multiple of what I'm giving you guys is you'll get the legendary Leafy's rolling tray. You'll get a legendary Leafy's grinder, and you're also going to get 2 Canna scoops with it. So with that being said, since I have extra from my sponsors, you both win, and I'll give you guys both this. So there you go. And now we'll go. Yeah, well, we got to make it fun. And now we'll go back to the main page here, and we got to do the winner, and then I'll do my wrap up. We'll pick a winner, and we'll get out of here. But I will be talking a couple minutes, and then we'll do a smoke session, and then we'll do the drawing. So first of all, though, I do want to show you what you are winning and how great it is. So first of all, if we go to my page right here, let's see here. Bam. All right. So what you are winning right here is one of the coolest kits ever. And why this is cool is, yes, it does look bulky, but everything comes apart and goes together with thumb screws, and it's so easy, and it's designed to all lay flat. So when you're not using the device, this goes perfectly in a closet, wherever you want out of the way. What's cool about it is the base that you get with the classic harvesting kit is a split base. So it doesn't have that metal or that middle part. So if you're in a bathroom or if you're in an area, as long as you have 6 feet of space, you can put this in any position to hang dry. I literally set my bathroom up with this system, was able to do everything. And then this smaller rack that you see on the left side, that's your workstation workstation. So when you saw me right here, you can see how it is. Sorry, it's a time lapse, but see how I'm taking it from there and I'm working with it. And then I go back to the dry room, grab more, and then bring it over. This way, my bud's not getting out to the regular atmosphere. It's staying exactly where it is. And it's a great opportunity to just pick up the hangers and move them versus having to do all this stuff, go buy a 20 pack of plastic hangers and kind of like waste your time kind of like dolling
at
around.
the top of your tent.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're weaving them in and out. And when you have the big colas, they get stuck, the branches break, it falls on the floor. It's literally taking it off and just moving it. And as you can see right here,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's a really awesome device. And if you see right here how it looks, hung up, and if you think of how much space that is, and being able to hang it up, and you can move them right next to each other, like you could fit probably like 20 more racks on there, and have the perfect amount of airflow and everything. So this system is really awesome, and I really like mine. And Jay actually came down here to Virginia, and this is us in my exact room that I'm in right now. You can see my banner behind him, and we had the flower up as we first brought this down, and he was here at my house, and we put this together. See, look. So very cool. And then this is Legendary Leafies.
Is there supposed to be audio with that?
Huh?
Is there supposed to be audio with that?
Ah, shit. There's no audio.
No audio.
Okay, well, it's on my YouTube. It's on my Instagram. So go watch it and like it. Comment and subscribe. But yes, this is an awesome kit. So I'm very excited. So let's talk a little bit. I'm going to roll a joint ski, and then we're going to pick a winner here. Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. The internet service that I've had lately is shit. I've actually been using a site called vMix because I have a 3-camera setup, and for whatever reason, when I use SteamYard, I'm like glitchy real bad and lagged. So I'm trying to figure that out, because you're also supposed to see my main camera, which is facing here, which is where I have my full table set up. But I was in a hurry today, so I had to go back to SteamYard. But it's not friendly. It should be a little bit more friendly when it comes to inputs and extra stuff. All right.
We're trying to have a professional production here, make it easy for the content production.
It's professionally unprofessional.
Yeah.
The highest form of unprofessionalism is unprofessionalism. Trying to be professionalism. How's it going? Nice to see you. Let's see here. Stupid T-Mobile. Yep. Oh, JP jumped on us. You can come back. You can hang out. You got to run away. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Yoda, what should we title this as?
For the why not just hashtag dry flower?
Ooh.
I mean, that's what it is. Let's get people thinking dry flower.
Thinking dry flower. All right. Go ahead and type that in the chat there. And just so you can see, this is a classic kit right here. And we'll go over it real quick here. I think it's this. It's standalone. So this is the classic harvesting kit. You're getting the dry flower rack, which is the big one. You're getting the harvest rack, which is a small one, which is a single bar, which is just what you saw in my video. Oh shit, hold on. There we go. So the harvest rack is a small one right in front. The dry flower rack is the big one in the back. It's 6 aluminum sticks, 8 J brackets, and then 24 J hangers, and you get the fastener pack. And it is awesome. And then I guess you have to sign in to watch the video. But it's cool. When we went to Wash Hydro here in Washington, D.C., they have a huge facility and they use all of Jay's products. And it was really cool to see it on a very large. Hold on, let me make sure that this is the right one.
Oh, hold on. There might be a is it DRI or DRY?
No, DRI.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Rye flour.
All right. Everybody, just to make sure that it's DRIFLOWER.
Hashtag.
So hashtag DRIFLOWER.
Yeah, no Y. It's, I can spell. All right. Dry flour. There we go. 300 so far. Very nice. There's something seriously wrong with my Puffco, though. For whatever reason, it works, and then I try to reuse it, and
it goes red.
Yeah, it goes red.
Yeah, I hate that. There's nothing worse than you put a fresh load in and you hit the button and it goes red. So what happens is if you sometimes you can just kind of give it a half turn and turn it back, and that'll fix it sometimes. And if that doesn't, disconnect it, take a swab the contacts, because you probably have gunk in there.
I just cleaned it, literally. I just cleaned it.
Or if you put too much water in there and you tip it and you get water in that chamber, that'll also make that happen. Regardless, generally swabbing that out will typically solve that problem.
Well, let's swab away here on a fresh dab. Also, on the first Sunday of each month, I have my education series. So on the last time I did a deep water culture presentation, I'm actually going to be doing a harvesting and drying presentation. So if you guys want to tune into that, I'll be upstairs in the Grow studio for the first of the month, because I go live officially 2 times a month. The hanging game night, which is tonight, where we joke around, hang, bullshit, no real agenda, just here to catch up and give away some cool stuff from the sponsors. On the first month is all about science education, teaching you not bro science, but working with the companies to give you great education and awareness, to show you in practicality in real time how things are going. And even if I make mistakes, kind of owning up to that and just using that as a power for you guys to avoid making the same ones. So please tune into that. And then we have more of my episodes coming up on Wednesdays, which is my podcast, which are, random conversations. So tons and tons of ways. Yoda, you misspelled it.
Is it? No, I put it in a second because it was originally I put it GRY, and then I realized it was DRI. But just to be on the safe side, I'll do it again, because All right, there we go.
Cheers.
Did that work? I guess so.
We only have 9 entries. There's 16 people watching here. And everybody enter. All right. Well, you ready?
I'm ready.
Right here we go. Wait, hold on. I'm not seeing people in here. Because there was 9 people, and I did not count 9 people. Hold on. Are you sure? Can somebody count how many people are in here? Because it says we have 16 and only 9 people are showing here. I just want to make sure that that's accurate so nobody gets left out.
Right now, it looks like we have 12 people. 13
that entered.
People. Oh, 12 people watching.
I show 15.
11 people watching.
Oh, I see. Okay. If you're watching on Twitter and you want to get in on this, you need to go ahead and enter on YouTube real quickly in the comments. Okay, that's what was tripping me. I was like, wait a second. Okay, there's 10. 11, 1. Okay. Okay. Okay, got 11. I knew I was missing at least a couple of people.
Did we start a new one?
What? No, it's the same thing. When you use the same word, it'll auto regenerate it. So I have 11 entries so far.
Okay. All right.
All right. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Nice.
All right.
Valen, is it Valen or Valen? Welch. Congratulations, by the way. And all you have to do is send me a message on Instagram with your name and information, and I will send this over to Dry Flower, and they will send it out to you. Now, however, those who did win, if you would please make content, not just for me, but for the companies, so they can use this to promote with, because your excitement with getting it, setting it up, and using it is valuable information for other people looking to try these products out. And you're the best way of organic testimonials. So please take the time when you do get it to make some content, and definitely share that, you know, you want it from here. We're going to have a lot more great giveaways coming up, but I want to, you know, do my due diligence by really helping the winners, help the companies that provide these great giveaways by helping produce content to really show them gratitude and the awareness of why other people should be invested in these awesome products. So congratulations to all of our winners. JP, also same with you. Instagram, send me your stuff and I will get you your tray, can of scoops, and grinder out. Yoda, you get yours when you come down here this weekend from Connecticut.
Excellent. Excellent.
Tell your wife I said hello. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's Val. Wow, I'm stupid. That's little little witch's shop. I was stupid for a second. I haven't seen her full name. I've only seen it as Val. So I was like, oh damn. Yo, do you know who they are?
They are no. I think I met them though, probably at the barbecue.
So last year we did some fundraising and we helped their shop out a little bit. And when we went on our national tour last year, we actually stayed at their shop and had one of my meet and greets there, and it was fantastic.
Oh,
and we
that's
had a
so
lot
cool.
of fun, and they're great people. So sometimes I'm just wondering if I'm like on the low, like just stupid, but no, I'm just kidding. But no, this has been great. So with that being said, oh, we missed you guys too. I definitely plan on coming out to Arizona again soon. I will be in LA next week, which will be pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are doing good. But it's just one of those things where that's why I love this community. And also, please, make sure you guys like, subscribe. We have a lot of content coming out. We have a lot of great things coming out for the channel. We're really hyper focused on deep water culture and really helping people grow. We're going to have some great mental health panels coming up as we're traveling. We're going to be at MJ BizCon again this year. We're going to be at the Cowboy Cup this time. Last year we couldn't because we bought my house. Now that's all situated, we'll be back out there. But there's a lot of great things about the platform and everything about mental health, home growing, building yourself. And as which you can't see, but on my wall, it actually says, how can you grow a great garden if you can't grow a great human? And you can see that in one of my videos. But it's the idea that we're not just growing these plants, we're growing ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically. And when we can invest in ourselves and then we can invest in each other, and when that comes to community and education and really mastering what you want in this space, because I always say that cannabis is like a spectrum. Like there's just so many people involved with it, and there's just so many things going on, and the levels of how we interact with ourselves and our missions and our visions, because somebody's wants for cannabis is different than mine, but we're all in it together for the love of the plant. And that's one of the connecting powers that this plant has, is it can bring so many people together. And when we use that to really better our futures, we get more out of life. And as a person who really wants to capitalize on their time and space while I'm here, it's important that we really utilize the time and education to, one, fight the stigma, but two, combat the norms and the society that says that this is a problem. Because for me, this is a way that I regulate and operate and and kind of just move forward. And it's given me a life, it's given me an opportunity to help other people and serve other people. And with that, we can do a lot more. And I just love the audience, and I love for all the people that are new. I've seen some new faces tonight that we haven't seen before. Thank you guys so much for being here. It really warms my heart that you guys spend your Sunday with us, even though we're giving stuff away, which, hey, everybody shows up when we give stuff away. But I really enjoy you guys being here, because I feel like just through our time together, we've had a lot of fun and we've developed a lot of value. And whether we're just watching online or we're actually here at my podcast studio or at an event, you can have the same level of experience. And I think what happens is when you really focus on the experience and how people feel and see certain things, especially when it comes to branding and business and, influencing and giving education and serving people, a lot of check marks need to be checked off. And that's one thing that I really, strive hard on, is providing value. So that way, when I am interacting with you on any type of format, whether in person or digital, you have the same type of vibe and feeling and experience, because one, it's built on authenticity, and then two, it's built on the genuine wanting to help people and serve people. And that's what the Vindic EU with the Red Cross is all about. You know, the Red Cross is seen as a sign for like medic and help and healing. And like, you know, in a game, you have that plus usually is a sign indicating your health, you know. So, you know, you got to save yourself first. And then in the process of saving yourself is, you know, how can we do that to the people around us, you know, and things get better, in my opinion. So that's really what this is backbone against. And then also, you know, the fantastic growing, the wonderful bud. And here, actually, real quick, I'll show you my last harvest. Hold on. Now, granted, I have more weed from the harvest. This is just some of it, but this bag is pretty full. You're supposed to only fill it halfway, but in here I'll show you a couple. This is my Mississippi hippie. Hold on, where is it? There's the light. And this came out. There we go. So amazing. Like, I am really proud of this. Now, it wasn't my best grow. Like, my best grow is my last grow, where the nugs were no joke, and I have video of it to prove it, this big. But this came out super fire and super dense. And yes, I did use a electric trimmer from Twisted Trimmers or Twisted Technology and their T6, and this is the output. See how it's like that cone type deal? Let me put something behind it so it just focuses on that. Yeah, there you go. See the trim? People are like, oh, you know, you're ruining it, but it does such a good job. And I love that T6 trimmer because one, it vacuums up all of the debris, and two, it gets it really nice. So if you have detail like where the colas crown out, or like even just like really small buds like this, it doesn't destroy the integrity of the shape or the structure, and it is fantastic. And as you can see more in this bag, super fucking frosty. But you know, one thing that I just love about being a home grower is one, I rely on this every day like a medicine. You know, I use this to, like I said, to regulate, to really, you know, decompress, to focus, sleep, eat, you know, deal with my depression, my anxiety. But you know, if you were to go to a dispensary, right? And I love dispensaries. When I travel, when I go to California, I'll be going to one because I just don't mess around with TSA because I just don't want the hassle. But like if you were to go to a dispensary, one, they can't give you this much, and two, it's not going to be the same quality. And that's why as a home grower, I just love the ability, and I know people agree with me on here, of just having that satisfactory feeling of knowing that I worked on this, I produced this, and whether it's the best bud in the world or it's not, it's still fucking fire to me, and I've never gotten complaints. And you know, it's just one of those things with the thing is, it's like it just, this one plant not only heals people medically, heals cancer, does amazing things, but like food, like Nelson Mandela said, or was talking about sport, but I believe there's four things that bring people together like no other. You have food, sport, music, and weed. I mean, I guess maybe alcohol, but then you get people that want to fight each other. With weed, less fighting, you know, more smoking. But I just love the ability. And that's one of the, I feel like one of the great things in life that I gave myself the ability to, just like all of us watching that grow, is the ability to grow and to take on something that I didn't know And I've only been doing this for almost 4 years. So I'm still very much a beginner, but I have a lot of a passion. I'm a fast learner. And, I've done very well for myself when it comes to growing, just at home, and I do it as a hobby. I don't even sell my weed or anything like that. I just do it for fun, and it's just one of those things where it just takes you away. And I think that magic moment and that space that we have just makes everything better. So, Yoda, you still there? Sorry. When I smoke, I like to talk. So if you like somebody that likes to keep conversation going, I am going with Gronomics. Yes.
Hey.
All right. Well, I'm about to end this. You want to say anything? You want to shout yourself out?
I had an awesome time. Thank you so much. It was a great time, and I can't wait for the next one.
Perfect. Where can people find you?
At Master Yoda 207 on Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube.
Perfect.
Or
all right, guys. All right, we are out of here, my dudes. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.